Guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me today as well. It's 11:20 Eastern time right now. And before I put the turkey in the oven for tomorrow, let's do a quick little recap. Now, we just finished talking about that 3-strike rule. Okay, let's find that lesson in the 3-strike rule right now. Okay, here's a lesson on the 3-strike rule. Let's go find that. It's somewhere here. I went to my blog and I searched. All right. We used to do these quizzes on the blog. Here's the 3-strike rule. All right. There's your 3-strike rule. So here we are today, folks. We've had 2 trades so far, both on crude oil. Boy, markets are really sleepy here the day before Thanksgiving holiday. Gold, euro, even Russell, very, very sleepy and sloppy. Now, we did a great job today on crude. We had 2 trades today we took on crude. I'm currently in one of them right now with a final profit target up at 63. So just like we have on Monday and Tuesday this week, we did a great job today at starting first by planning our trades and then second, trading our plan. I also want to remind you guys we offer a lifetime membership. Everything I'm discussing here comes with our membership, including our brand new pattern scanner, which automates the entire decision-making process. So don't forget to check out our membership options on the website. Guys, I'm moving my stop up to my point of entry right now. The reason why I moved my stop up to my point of entry is because you can see it doesn't make much sense not to. We always use these squiggly, they're actually moving averages, we call them trigger lines. See these little squiggly trigger lines? That's support. So you could easily think of these almost flat but green, yellow, and orange trigger lines. These are support. So when price comes down to that support, it's going to bounce off that support. I want my stop loss to be right below it. Now, I had my stop a little bit lower at a -5. But the reason why I moved it to my point of entry is because there's no reason to. It's going to go down to that 87.24. So it doesn't make much sense for me to keep my stop any further back. Does that make sense, guys? Make sense? So as soon as I took my second profit target at 87.50, and that's exactly what I suggested, as you can see here on this chart, we gave you guys the exact entry time call. We gave you the exact targets, stops, everything. So we talked about getting 50 being a target. We did get 50 filled. Now my stop moves up to my point of entry. I could make it at a -5, but you'll notice there's all this room below my point of entry, and a -5 won't do much, right? A -5 on this will not do much. If it's going to go through my point of entry, it's going to go down to 87.24. So really the only thing I could do would be put a stop at 87.30, and that's just not a good idea in my opinion, because once it breaks through this support, it's going to go right to the next support, which is that red line at 87.24. So why bother using a -5 stop, right? Just take me out at 35 and we'll wait for the next trade here. Now, let's take a look at what we did today. Today was a really great day. This week's been a little bit slow and sloppy. We're waiting on news out of Europe. We got the long weekend ahead of us. We had a great weekend last weekend in Las Vegas with our members. Okay, let's recall now what we found this morning. Remember this? This is what we were looking at this morning. And what do you see on this chart? I see a few things. I see a bull channel. Okay, pretty easy to spot that bull channel. Clue number 1. What's clue number 2? Double top. Okay, double top. The second clue that I got today, double top. Now, many people would think a double top tells you to be a seller. Well, we look at it a little bit differently. And guys, I am stopped at a crude now. I am stopped at a crude. And guys, I see questions here. Dahir, David, I got you guys in 2 seconds here. Be right there for your questions. So the double top actually provides us with support. We do things a little bit differently here in this trade room. I think that's why we're so successful. So the second clue was a double top. And even though I think most of you probably would think the double top means a sell, it actually means a buy for me. And then we had one more. We had one more here. We drew a trend line from the A, B, C, and of course the D now is way up top. We draw that trend line from A to C, and that also, of course, lines up perfectly with the bottom of the channel. The ABCD is our third clue. So we got long. We bought. And as of about 10 seconds ago, I just got taken out of my second trade today. For the second time today, we bought on crude oil, and we did so right according to plan. Our plan this morning was pretty simple. I wanted to buy the lows of the channel, and I wanted to buy the ABCD target. I wanted to buy the double top support. I wanted to buy the trend line support. We had a ton of reasons to get long at the lows of that channel. And of course, at the same time, you'll notice this little trend line that came down here. This trend line was drawn on our 89 range chart. We did that initially in our formal prep, which we always do together at 8 o'clock, so everybody knows what's going on. So we knew that we had this price wedge, and we put our final target at the highs of the wedge. So now, as you can see here, I'm going to buy the lows of the wedge, sell the highs of the wedge. Entry long at the lows, profit target at the highs. That was the first trade. The second trade, look what happened. Came all the way back down, same spot again. This time around, though, look at how much more narrow that wedge is. Now the wedge is a whole lot more narrow. Now we don't have the luxury of a really, really wide final target. Now we took a target at 50, and then, of course, had a runner target at 63. I got the 50 target, but I just recently got bounced out at my point of entry. And we had one more clue here. Notice the swing high. Notice the swing low. We talked about this. This is a range. And what does a trading range tell me to do? You got it. Buy the lows. Sell the highs. So we are buying at the lows. We are selling at the highs. Again, that's why we got long for our second trade of the day, and that's why we're trying to get the profit target all the way up at the highs. All righty. And as you can see here, now crude goes below. We've already called this trade before, so we can look forward again here now. This is a trade that we just talked about. So 87.10. Now let's see, are we going to get a fake out breakout, or are we going to get the price to tumble? Let's take a look. I need to find a pattern now. Where's my pattern going to be? Well, first of all, let's look for some clues here. Wow, look at all the sellers now piling onto that tape. Oh, hold on one second. Got to restart it. This is going to happen every once in a while, guys. Hold on. Well, that's not good. All right, never mind. So I guess I won't be taking it. I'm going to restart my charts here. This is going to happen every once in a while. Now, not to worry though, if you were in your trade short, and for some reason that occurred to you, I'm an educator, so I'm always trying to do too much here. But if you were in that trade short and your chart's jammed, don't forget, the server already has your stops and your targets. Now, what you won't get, though, is you will not get your ATM strategy moving your stops and targets around. So if you do get into a trade and your chart's jammed like that, right, I'm always giving you guys real examples of what really happens to traders. You know, right before you take a trade, your charts jam on you, or you're in a trade and your charts jam, or the power goes out, or you lose internet connection, what I always recommend is to have a fire drill, right? Have a fire drill. And that fire drill, 1, 2, 3, charts jam. 1, 2, 3, power goes out. Who do I call? What do I do? In this case, I wasn't in a trade, so I don't need to worry about it. But what I want you to remember, though, is that if you are in a trade, call your broker. They should give you a toll-free number 24 hours a day to call your broker. But be aware, though, that your stop loss and your profit targets are still in the market. Now, if you've set up an auto trail feature on your charts, that will not kick into play, though. That's locally on your computer. Guys, it's been a great day so far. I'm going to reload my workspace here as we speak. I want to thank you all for being a part of this. Don't forget, we are closed on Thursday and Friday for the long weekend. Guys, take the time to really enjoy your family and friends. Be thankful for our health and our wealth and our opportunity to be a trader. I will be definitely thankful this Thanksgiving, and I hope you will be too. Now, I'm actually going to be around my computer all weekend, so if anybody has any questions, I'll be on Skype, I'll be on email. Our offices, though, will be technically closed Thursday and Friday, but you can still call the office. We get the phones being forwarded. These days, we're always connected.